respect what he's doing, especially when you hear the audio from the sports analysts when they were playing against Sacramento saying that, James Harden is cheating the game, and you wonder if that's how the players feel, but it sounds like they respect what he's doing.
And first of all, ND, this guy's talking about cheating the game, and he was the first player ever suspended for steroids.
Yes.
I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, how is that cheating the game? Second of all, you're getting blew out by 30 points. You can't. That's what you can't do. You can't say, "Hey, man, I think that this guy isn't doing a thing right," as he's getting ready to shoot free throws to put this team up by more points. But the players respect it because they see what James is doing and how hard it is to do that. Indy, this guy's almost averaging a point a minute. And that's not easy to do. The last person I think to do that was Wilt Chamberlain, which is, you starting to look in these record books now, you see like Wilt Chamberlain, James Harden, Wilt Chamberlain,
right.
James Harden. And so what he's doing this year, I went on Twitter and said this the other day, Indy, if James Harden had a complete healthy team the full year like Giannis has, they would have 60 wins again this year. They got 51 right now
right.
with those players missing the time that they did, and James Harden still kept them in contention. So imagine what he would have done with a full, healthy team.
Exactly.
I think from the beginning of the break, when we realized we had all the guys in the lineup and guys, rotations and things like that, we could have finally can work on things that is going to happen in the game. It's hard to kind of go through things when you got guys in and out of lineups, who's going to play. The coverage changed defensively, offensively. Your guys aren't in the right spots where you need them to be. So I think that was the most important thing.
Once you've been a confident group for a few years, is there anything that you kind of make us
Nah, it's another level of confidence, but we'll get that once we get in the postseason and we start winning games.
I feel like you guys, especially the bigs, getting even better after you give up the ball.
Yeah, we watch film and we talk about it every day. Seeing double teams, triple teams all year. So they got to find ways to make plays and impact the game. They've done an unbelievable job throughout the course of the game, and then after the game, watching film and getting ready for the next one as well.
What have you learned as a leader to go through what you went through the early part of the year to now get the team all the way back to the top?
Patience. It's never happened overnight. It's a long season. You take each game for what it is, and you embrace it. With all the injuries, with all the ups and downs that we've been throughout this year, we still managed to get to an opportunity to get to a number 2 seed, which is in the West, which is probably one of the hardest things to do. So you take it for what it is, take the patience, and continue to work, stay focused on the long-term goal.
Given that you guys control that destiny, how big is this final game for you guys in OKC?
That's big for us, but I think we've been playing well, so it'll be great to end the season up the right way.
That little,
Yeah, I know exactly whose voice that is. That's Shannon Sharp's.
Is it?
Yeah, that's Shannon Sharp's because he's one of those people. He's on the fence, so you never know which way he's going to go. But you know what, Nick, you brought up a good point. But that's just, I don't know why Houston sports gets hated on in general. You think about it. When the Texans went on a 9-game winning streak, they were not in the A block of any sports show starting off. When the Astros in 2017, when they won the World Series, when they went through Boston, New York, and L.A., 3-storied franchises, nobody still gave them credit until the last out of the game. They're like, oh, well, look at here. The Astros have won. And now with James Harden being hated on the way that he is, it's just something about the Houston sports market. But that's why I'm so glad to be from Houston. That's why I tell everybody, they be like, where are you from? United States of Texas. What part? There's only one part, Houston.
713-212-579.
One thing that I do want to say is, since this is the last home game of the year, on behalf of the Houston Rockets ownership, management, players, staff, everyone involved with the Houston Rockets, we appreciate our fans and we thank them for their great support throughout the course of the year. It means so much to us.
Good point.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. I'm totally in agreement with him when it comes to the framing of the pitches. That will take it out because that's become very relevant, prevalent this last about 3 years. They've been doing that. The catchers have learned how to do that.
And I just learned about that last year. A pretty cool dude who played college baseball. You know, I won't throw his name out there, but he's from Iowa. If he's listening, he would talk to me about the art of framing a pitch, and I had no idea that was even a part of baseball. Then I started watching these catchers and, how they would catch certain balls that should have been a ball, but because of the way they framed it, it looked like a strike. So, that's one reason you want to keep it in there so you can. Because to me, I think that's another aspect of baseball that makes it interesting.
Yes.
Willie, what's up, Willie? All right.
No, thanks for the call. I'm gonna go on record just by saying this again for like the 100,000th time. No, James Harden and what he's doing this year, leading that team, he's an MVP.
But offense, what he said, offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, and MVP. So I can see a scenario where Giannis gets the defensive player of the year, then James Harden gets the MVP, just to give Giannis something because he is good on both sides of the court. But I just don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, you like what Giannis Antetokounmpo does. I think he's only 24. This guy's going to be dominant for years to come. But James Harden he just puts up historical numbers every single week. You mentioned it earlier. We've talked about it earlier in the week. It seems like after every game we're saying, oh, the only other person to do that was Wilt Chamberlain and maybe one other person. And that's the type of season he's having while leading his team to victory. He's not just putting up stats. He's the reason why when Clint Capella was down, when Chris Paul was down, they still had a winning record because of what he's doing.
And even though I said this on social media on yesterday too, ND, is that when you look at the Rockets team and look at what James Harden is doing, the number one team in the Western Conference is the Golden State Warriors. The Rockets are 3-1 against them. The number 2 team is the Denver Nuggets. The Rockets are 3-1 against them. And so, I mean, James is going up against harder competition. I think I said this last time I was here. If he was over in the Eastern Conference, he'd be averaging so many more points, and you could put him on Milwaukee, and they'll probably win 65, 70 games.
Yeah, it's tough to argue against that. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank God my voice made it barely. I thank you for coming in at the last hour to ride down from the Woodlands to join us in the trenches.
Appreciate you having me.
I always thank you for everything you do, and you, the listeners, I would be in front of this mic if it wasn't for you. Thank you. Do not touch that dial. The most entertaining man in the biz is coming up next. Matt Thomas, only on Sports Talk
790.
Okay, so
breaking the record tonight by hitting 27 threes. Do you feel like you helped set the tone by hitting the 8 that you did?
Well, I did get it going, and a lot of guys, we all had a lot of open shots, and whenever you trap like that, especially the way they did, as we're coming down the court, it's all about, knocking down the shots because they were open.
When Eric got hot like that, do you think that's one of the reasons why they stopped double teaming, because he was hitting so many threes?
Well, look, we're so fortunate to just watch some really talented offensive players. I mean, James, Chris, Eric's ability to score, PJ knocking down some shots, Clint is making really good decisions when he catches the ball in the middle of the paint, when to take it to the rim, when to pass. It's all coming together in a nice way.
So I was going to ask you, what type of mindset do you all have now? The last 2 games y'all have really been, getting it together. So are you already in the playoff mindset?
Yeah, we gearing up. We playing every possession like it's a valuable possession. Because in the playoffs, one possession can cost you the game. So we're just trying to train and program our mindsets and get the chemistry together so we're ready for the playoffs.
How happy do you get when they close out on you on the 3-point when you know you're going to blow right by them?
Excited, man. Excited. It's really exciting. Shout out to RGV, even though they lost today. That's my former G League team. I rep for y'all today. Y'all gonna get the next one, fellas. Keep your heads up.
Thank you.
to take care of business again and kind of get things going towards the playoffs?
We do. A lot of people and coaches always say these tough games, but when we're professionals, we understand that we're playing for something. We all trying to stay sharp.
Is there doubling James? Sorry. Doubling James. As soon as he gets past midcourt, the ball movement that follows that. Is that as sharp as it's been this week?
Probably. It might be. I don't know. I get it. He scored a lot of points, so you want to double him. But even me, Gordy, Tuck, all us, wide open.
4 and 3 doesn't seem that far.
Especially if you're 4-0. You know what I mean? So I guess I just didn't want him to score 40 or 50 tonight. They really weren't playing for me.
How big is it to be playing like this right now?
I don't know. This don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? This ain't got nothing to do with starts next week. I'm just trying to, everybody stay in the right rhythm, keep our cardio up and play the right way until we see who we're not sure. I think it's good for them to see the professionalism and to see that, regardless of the score, you got to keep competing. You know what I mean? The way Tuck is and all of us and Finley, it's all about building habits. So I think that's what we've been doing a really good job.
The last couple of games, y'all been really moving the ball well, and you've been a big part of that. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good just to come in the game and try to be aggressive and not only to score, but to make other guys get points. And that's kind of what my mindset was there. Obviously, I was the older guy playing out there tonight, back-to-back games where, they had me out there. And obviously, I could have easily tried to score a lot. But I saw Gary and a lot of guys who usually don't get to play a lot. At that point in the game, I just try to get everybody involved. So, it was just a good win.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Big Sarge here. Got a call from a veteran today telling me about how they had to talk another veteran down from killing himself 2 hours because he was going through some things. Please reach out to your strong friends, the ones who smile all the time, the one who seems like they got it all together, the ones who always say, "No, I'm cool, I'm all right, I'm good." Sometimes they're really not. And so just take the time to reach out to them, because that smile that they have sometimes hides the pain on the inside. Y'all know that I'm a strong advocate for mental health issues because I deal with them myself on a consistent basis. So please, please, please reach out to your strong friends today and just tell them that you love them. Big Sarge, salute. I'm out.
I'm gonna surprise you on this one. All my Vietnam veterans, welcome home. Germany, good night. All my active duty military personnel that's downrange, good night. It is now time for Big Sarge's Article 15. You gonna clap with me, Cody?
Yeah.
Reebok! Come get this work. How, young Cody, does Reebok allow Queen Bee to walk out of a meeting? By Queen Bee, I'm talking about Beyonce, bro. Don't get it twisted. Ain't no other Queen Bee that's come before her, and ain't gonna be no Queen Bee after her. I'm in the beehive now. Bro, did you see this? Beyonce reportedly walked out on Reebok. Guess why?
Because, I don't know. Why?
Lacking diversity. Did you not know that you're bringing in one of the blackest women in the world? Like Beyonce did Coachella and had everybody thinking she had an HBCU and a sorority. People went out and bought all of that, I don't even know what the name of it was, but they was like, yo, Beyonce got her own HBCU and her own sorority. People went out and was specifically looking for everything that Beyonce had on during Coachella.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Have they not seen Beyonce perform? She's like one of the blackest performers you're going to ever see.
Mm-hmm.
One of the blackest performers, and I mean that down to her soul. Listen, young Cody, Beyonce Beyonce's walk may be iconic, but if she walks out on you, it's not a good look. That's what reportedly found out. That's what Reebok reportedly found out the hard way while negotiating with the megastar ahead of her eventual. That's they found out negotiating with the megastar on Thursday. The reason Reebok wasn't able to seal the deal with Queen Bee, according to ESPN writer Nick DePaula, their pitch team was lacking diversity. As reported by Page 6, DePaula came through with the scoop on ESPN's The Jump, where he disclosed that over the past year or more, Beyonce had been courted by several sports heavyweights, including Under Armour and even Jordan at Nike. But the real tea is that Reebok was missing the representation required for her to feel comfortable with working with them. For her, it really goes beyond a lucrative deal and visibility. It's not just about putting her name on a shoe here or whatever they end up calling it. It's about having an imprint on the company, impact in terms of diversity. She had a meeting at Reebok and they had a whole presentation of everything, potential products, how this all could look. She kind of took a step back and said, is this the team that will be working with me on my product? Somebody said yes. She said, nobody in this room reflects by background, my skin color, and where I'm from, and what I want to do. And then she said, so she took a step back and left, and then it did not come back to terms. Let me tell you what Beyonce said one more time, because I know we got to get ready to get up out of here. She asked, is this the team that will be working on my product? And they said yes. And she said, nobody in this room reflects by background, my skin color, and where I'm from, and what I want to do. DePaula continues. So she took a step back and left. And she went and signed with Adidas. You know that, right? There's a new Adidas shoe coming out. So that means they must have had the blackest of the black people up in there. Reebok, I got a question for you, Reebok. How is it that you got Beyonce, knowing that, first of all, she's married to Jay-Z, who put out, you know what it was? They didn't listen to 444.
Yeah, they didn't.
Because Jay-Z was like, hey, listen, y'all listen to 444. I'm going to give all the black people the blueprint on how to be rich. Jay-Z just started Jay-Z just set up a trust fund of $15 million for Nipsey Hussle's kids. Jay-Z paid back Lil Wayne's back taxes. He went out and got Meek Mill. Yeah. He was involved in Meek Mill's case. Helped 21 Savage get lawyers. Yeah. Like, you are dealing with the blackest couple there is. Why do you think that people love Jay-Z and Beyonce so much? Especially black people. Bro, she is from Houston, Texas. They're part of Houston, Texas right now, and I don't think that an Anglo-American has ever visited. Like, Beyonce is, like, even when she's home, she's super black. Just happen to be a pop icon. People just happen to love her on all races. So how is it, young Cody, that you allow the blackest woman to walk into the room with a whole bunch of Anglo-Americans and say, hey, this is what we're going to do? So if they do that with her, then imagine what they're doing everywhere else, young Cody.
So that means other people aren't going to sign with Reebok?
And that means that they've been lacking diversity for a long time. That means that if they do that to Beyonce, then they done that to everybody else who's sponsored by Reebok.
Right.
And that's the dumbest thing you could do.
I would have put somebody on the board. I would have been like, hey, man, what you do for a living?
Bro, we would have had them.
Yeah, come on.
Bro, we'd have had the meeting in Third Ward.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, I would have rented out a room at TSU and saying, can you fly home? Because we're doing this over in, what's the Student Center?
Student Center, yeah.
And we got everything set up.
That would have been nice. Oh, that would have been nice.
Right? But yeah, you gonna walk in, she gonna walk in. Beyonce, bro. Beyonce gonna walk in, she gonna see all these white people and gonna be like, this ain't got nothing to do with my people. How is that going to help me? Help me to improve not only my brand, but my people. They dropped the ball. Or if I'm over Reebok, everybody fired. Call in the whole team, from the leader on down. Fire. Get out. Get out. No pensions, no 401k, nothing. You let the biggest star in the world right now walk out of a meeting because y'all couldn't find one black person. Cody, you should have hired seat fillers like they do at these award shows and brought them in and said, hey, look, y'all just here, don't answer no questions.
Nod.
Exactly. Exactly. Sports Talk with Big Sarge right here on the legendary KYK and the all new 92.3 FM. Reebok, you are the biggest loser. Queen B, I love you. I'm out.